Can-hate comments determine the success of a game. I released my own a few months ago, and while sales have trickled in slowly, there's no end to the amount of haters. And since I'm releasing the game on Steam soon, I have to be sure it will sell enough copies so that I can continue to live my dream as an indie developer. Could listening to the haters and changing the art of my game help me save it before it's too late? But to understand why I changed the game, first we have to see why I was getting those comments in the first place. So let's rewind back to a few months ago, when I challenged myself to make and sell a game in only 30 days. Now, why would any sane person ever do that? Well, because I'm not. There's two main reasons. I've been a game developer for 7 years and I've never released a paid game. And GameMaker, which is a great tool to make video games for beginners, wanted to sponsor one of my videos. And they actually sponsored this video. So thank you for paying my rent. And so I decided to make a precision platformer, taking inspiration from some of my favorite games like Super Meat Boy and Fancy Pants Adventure. I ended up finishing the game somehow and putting it to sale on itch.io. But that's where things started to go downhill. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people liked my game, saying it looked unique and fun. It's a tale of perseverance, of countless attempts to conquer the unconquerable of the joy pouch. But after a while, some of the negative comments on the art style started to get to me. What if there was some truth behind those comments? What if I was just being stubborn and not looking at the big picture? After all, I did just slap together some badly drawn art with some character animations and made a whole entire game in only 30 days. I realized it would be very difficult to market this game because it just didn't look good. It looked like poop. And one of the most important factors of a game's success is its art, which is the first thing people see when they go on the store page. And while I liked how my game looked because I'm a programmer and I like programmer art, I wasn't sold. And if I'm not sold, then how can I expect others to be sold? I thought the previous one didn't really capture the cute and fun personality that I wanted the game to have. So I found some free assets and I was able to put together a background really quickly by dragging in the images into separate layers: a foreground, middle ground, and background. And there's a simple reason why most games do this. Because they're on separate layers, now each of them can be moved at different speeds. It's like in real life, things closer to you seem to move faster, but things further away seem to move slower. But it's all an optical illusion because nothing's actually moving and we're all just in the make. And with GameMaker, it only took a few lines of code to make this work. But even then, I thought the levels still lacked some life. So I thought that some props like bushes and moving objects would just make the world feel more alive, like in Mario games. And that's when I found a neat little hidden effect that GameMaker has, which applies some random physics to leaves that appear on your screen. The world immediately felt alive, and I barely had to do anything, which is my favorite kind of development: being lazy. I then added some clouds on a different layer and made each of them move at the same speed. Once they reached the end of the level, they would loop around to the start. This trick saves performance, so I wouldn't have to keep spawning new clouds each time. And with some great community feedback, I got the idea of using vines, which slightly move and also help direct the player in the direction they're supposed to be moving in. All those years of studying game design finally paid off. But I noticed one big issue. Before that, let's first talk about why I chose GameMaker. GameMaker is an engine really well suited to making 2D games. They have a lot of great features like a built-in image editor, tile maps, visual scripting, and they're always adding new features like a new UI editor. It's also completely free to release a game to any non-console platform, and for games you'll be selling like mine, there's just a one-time fee, which is pretty affordable. Let me tell you, some of their image editing tools really came in clutch while I was changing the art for my game. Check out the link in the description to get started making games with GameMaker today. Right now, you're gonna make a game. Well, after the video. But click the link. Now the character does not match the background at all. The one I had been using was 32 by 32 pixels, meaning there wasn't much room for detail. Having a pixel art character while having a non-pixel art background is like seeing a Cybertruck. Literally anywhere. It looks out of place. I just felt like it lacked some personality, this white blob that just has no face. So I asked my friend to help me and come up with some character designs, and while some of them looked okay, a lot of them didn't. Even though some were promising, animating them would be a completely different story because, well, I don't have any experience with animation. So I did what anyone else would do in my situation. I went on Reddit and hired an artist. I was able to find one that I liked the style of and contacted them. I asked them to come up with some character concepts because I just know an artist would probably come up with better concepts than me. I was right. The one that immediately stood out to me was this cute little doggy. It was a bit ironic because I actually named the game in the image of my dog. The name of the game is Boombi, and my mom had come up with the word when someone accidentally hits a piece of furniture and is just very accident prone, which was me. And over the years, we just started to use that word when my dog would crash into objects because his eyesight wasn't so well. I knew making the character a dog would be the right choice. It would catch the attention of people immediately, and it just looked cute and fun, which was the vibe I was going for. Unfortunately, my little Boombi recently passed away, and so I decided to dedicate this game to him. From there, the artist started to deliver some of the animations that I asked for, and they were really cute. Just look at this guy. What a little cutie patootie. It was really easy to replace the sprites in GameMaker. And then with their image editor, I could easily erase any of the imperfections that I saw. Unfortunately, some of the sprites ended up being different sizes, and it was a little jarring because switching between them in the game quickly just looked odd. I wanted the dog to be smaller, but still keep the same resolution size. But then I remembered I'm a genius. Or at least that's how you feel when you find a hacky solution to a problem that you've been stuck on for a few days. In GameMaker, similar to Photoshop, you have an image and a canvas size. So I ended up making the entire image size smaller and made sure to check this box so it would keep its quality and not be blurry. Then I changed the canvas size to make it bigger, and somehow that worked, which I was not expecting it to. I'll take it. Then I asked the artist to add some smear on some of the animations. Smearing is a little trick that a lot of animators use to simulate the appearance of motion. It makes the movement feel more fluid and impactful. In my case, I wanted smear while playing specific animations, like falling. I even ended up drawing some of them myself because I felt shy asking the artist for so many animations. I just kept asking for so many more. By now, everything was moving pretty smoothly, and the game was already looking much more presentable. But we all know that game development is never that easy. When I tell you I spent 2 months fixing the same code over and over and over and over and over. Oh, I think I got stuck in the matrix for a second. Why did it take me 2 months? It only took me 1 month to make the game. Well, it's very simple. It's because my code is spaghetti. I know this isn't spaghetti, but I don't have spaghetti. I had basically hard-coded all of my values, so all of the numbers fit exactly with the previous character. So when I changed to the dog character that has a different width and height, it broke everything. Let's just say it was not a fun time. But this whole time, there's been one issue that's been bugging me, and you might have noticed it throughout the video. When the character walks on the ground, it kind of looks like it's floating because there's a small distance between the ground and the player. I knew about this problem during the start of the development of the game, but I just kept it in because I had absolutely no idea how to fix it. As I said, I'm a genius, and so I came up with another hack. Depending on the angle of the slope the player was on, the sprite would be moved downward so it looks like it's on the ground, but it's actually still floating. It's just an optical illusion. At this point, I decided it was time to finally share the new art style with the public and update my Steam page. It's important to do this early so I can get more wishlists, which helps boost my game in Steam's algorithm so more people can see it. If you want to support me, the link to wishlist the game is down below. Please wishlist the game. It was finally time to see what the haters thought of my new art style. A lot of people loved the dog and the changes I made, but this is when I learned, unfortunately, that you can't please everyone. I'm 100% sure that this version of the game will sell way more copies than the previous one, and I'm really proud of the changes I've made. It took a lot of work, but I'm not done yet. I've been messing around in Photoshop using art styles of other games to see what I like and don't like about them. But if you did like this video, you should totally check out the first devlog where I documented the entire process of making the game from scratch in GameMaker in only 30 days. Wishlist my game.